Welcome to this very interesting and important topic in carbohydrate metabolism, which is known as pentose phosphate pathway. There are other alternative names for this pathway also based on the product or compounds formed in this pathway, such as phosphogluconate pathway, Hexose Monophosphate Shunt or HMP Shunt, or Dickens-Horecker pathway after the name of its discoverer. In this video, I will discuss the phases, the steps, enzymes, products, functions, and significance of this pathway. So let us begin with the phases of the pentose phosphate pathway. This pathway begins by utilizing glucose 6-phosphate, which is intermediate of glycolytic pathway, and completes in two phases. First phase is oxidative phase and second is non-oxidative phase. The main product of oxidative phase is NADPH, which is produced by three irreversible reactions, and the main product of non-oxidative phase is ribose 5-phosphate. However, excess of pentose is also utilized in the formation of fructose 6-phosphate and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. They are the intermediate of glycolysis and thereby they join the cycle and support energy metabolism. So on one way it is utilizing the intermediate of the glycolytic pathway, at the same time it is sending back the intermediate to the glycolysis and supporting energy metabolism. Therefore, simultaneous operation of this pathway is not going to disrupt or affect the efficiency of glycolysis. In the next slides, I will discuss the details of these both phases, including enzymes, the product, the regulation, and the significance. So let us start the oxidative phase. It involves three reactions and three enzymes. It starts with glucose 6-phosphate, which is converted into 6-phosphogluconolactone with the help of enzyme called glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase. This reaction is rate limiting step. It is committed. It is regulatory step, and this is basically oxidation reaction which is coupled to reduction of NADP to NADPH. This enzyme is regulatory and it is regulated by the concentration of NADP. High excess of NADP stimulates this enzyme, whereas the decrease in NADP inhibits the enzyme. In the next step, this gluconolactone is converted into 6-phosphogluconate by hydrolase, which is finally converted into ribulose 5-phosphate with the help of 6-phosphogluconate dehydrogenase enzyme. This is also basically oxidation reaction which is associated with the reduction of NADP to NADPH, and there is a loss of one carbon as CO2. So this is decarboxylation reaction as well. So basically in this reaction one glucose molecule, one glucose 6-phosphate molecule produces two NADPH and one carbon dioxide and one ribulose molecule. This pathway or this phase is active in tissues which are actively involved in the synthesis of fatty acids, lipids, cholesterol, steroid and sex hormones in the organs such as adrenal gland, adipose tissue, liver, testis, ovary, mammary gland, lactating mammary gland, and RBCs. RBCs are special in the sense that this is the only pathway to produce NADPH for the to maintain the integrity and function of these cells. Let us discuss non-oxidative phase. It starts with ribulose 5-phosphate, which is a ketopentose. It is converted into aldopentose ribose 5-phosphate by isomerase, and it is ribulose 5-phosphate is also converted into xylulose 5-phosphate, which is ketopentose by epimerase. In the next reaction, there is transfer of 2 carbon unit from xylulose to ribose by transketolase, which requires thymine pyrophosphate. The product of this reaction is pseudoheptulose, which is a ketose, and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, which is a aldotriose. In the next reaction, there is a transfer of 3 carbon unit from pseudoheptulose to glyceraldehyde by transaldolase, forming erythrose 4-phosphate and fructose 6-phosphate. In the next reaction, there is a transfer of 2 carbon unit from xylulose to erythrose, which is an aldose, by transketolase enzyme, forming fructose 6-phosphate and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So the primary purpose of this phase is to produce ribose 5-phosphate, which is a component of DNA, RNA, and also coenzymes such as NAD, FAD, NADP, ATP, etc. And also it's recycled excess of pentose into glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and fructose 6-phosphate, which are intermediate of glycolytic pathway. They feed into the glycolytic cycle and produces or support energy metabolism. So this pathway is highly active in actively dividing cells. So in summary, non-oxidative phase involve reversible reactions which occur between a ketose and an aldose and produces a new set of aldose and ketose. Each reaction involves transfer of 2 carbon unit by a transketolase enzyme or a 3 carbon unit by a transaldolase enzyme from a ketose to an aldose. This is very important point to know. The primary purpose of this phase is to produce ribose 5-phosphate and to recycle excess of and pentoses to produce intermediate of glycolytic pathway. I would like to explain how much percent of glucose 6-phosphate is utilized by pentose phosphate pathway with the help of this diagram. The proportion of glucose 6-phosphate entering this pathway isn't fixed. Under normal conditions, most cells utilize about 5 to 10% of glucose 6-phosphate. However, this can increase significantly up to about 30% when the cell's demand for NADPH rises, such as during oxidative stress or active biosynthesis. Therefore, the flux varies depending on the cell types and metabolic state. Regarding the significance of pentose phosphate pathway, it is a very important pathway. It supplies or synthesizes NADPH, which is an antioxidant and is required for the synthesis of fatty acids, cholesterol, steroid, and sex hormones. In addition, it also supplies or synthesizes ribose 5-phosphate, which is required for DNA RNA synthesis and cell division. This pathway also produces fructose 6-phosphate and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, which are intermediate of glycolytic pathway. They feed back into glycolytic pathway and supports energy metabolism. Hemolytic anemia is an X-linked recessive condition which is common in Mediterranean countries. This is caused due to genetic defect in glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase, a rate-limiting enzyme of the pentose phosphate pathway. It reduces NADPH level, impairing glutathione regeneration. This increases oxidative stress in RBCs, causing membrane and hemoglobin damage. RBC become fragile and undergo hemolysis, leading to hemolytic anemia. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this will help you to understand pentose phosphate pathway and its clinical relevance. Please like it, share it, and subscribe it. Until next time, you take care. Bye bye.